Most cat owners truly believe their cat is completely fine staying alone all day. Cats are independent. They sleep all the time. They don't need emotional attention like dogs do. That's the story people repeat to themselves over and over again. But here's the uncomfortable truth most owners never realize until it's too late. Your cat notices everything: the moment you leave, the moment routines change, the silence in the house, the empty feeding time, the missing interaction. And according to animal behavior research, cats form deep emotional attachment bonds with their humans, much deeper than most people think. They feel safer when you're around, and many experience measurable stress when left alone for long periods. They're just masters at hiding it. That's what makes cats different. Dogs show stress loudly. Cats hide it quietly, which means the damage often builds invisibly until one day it suddenly shows up as aggression, over-grooming, litter box problems, nighttime chaos, appetite changes, anxiety, or complete emotional withdrawal. So before you assume your cat is totally fine while you're away, here are 5 powerful things every cat owner absolutely needs to understand. And stay until tip number 5 because it's the most overlooked mistake of all. Yet it silently causes more stress-related problems than almost anything else. If you truly want to understand your cat on a deeper level, subscribe and turn on notifications for more content about the hidden emotional lives of animals. Tip number 1, protect the routine at all costs. Cats are not go-with-the-flow animals. They are routine-driven survival experts. Every predictable moment in their day becomes part of their emotional security system. The sound of you waking up, the exact time breakfast appears, the moment you grab your keys, the sound of the front door opening when you return. To humans, these are tiny habits. To a cat, they are emotional anchors. And those anchors tell your cats one critical thing: the environment is safe. When those patterns stay consistent, stress remains low. But when routines suddenly shift without warning, cats don't interpret it as something new. They interpret it as uncertainty. And uncertainty creates stress. Remember, cats are both predators and prey animals. Their nervous systems are built to monitor patterns constantly. When patterns disappear, cortisol rises fast. That's why inconsistent schedules affect cats far more than most owners realize. Leaving at wildly different times every day, feeding late on weekends, suddenly disappearing longer than usual. These things slowly destabilize your cat's sense of security. The solution is simple but incredibly powerful. Keep routines predictable. Feed at the same times. Leave the house using similar patterns. Return consistently whenever possible. Predictability is not boring for cats. Predictability feels like safety. Tip number 2, never leave a dirty litter box before you go out. This sounds simple, almost too simple. But it's one of the most ignored causes of stress-related behavior problems in cats left alone. Cats are intensely hygiene-oriented animals. For them, a litter box isn't just a bathroom. It's part of their territory security. A dirty box creates emotional tension surprisingly fast. When you're home, your cat may tolerate a partially dirty litter box because they still feel emotionally supported by your presence. But once you leave, that same box becomes a growing source of stress. Hour after hour. Imagine being trapped in a space where your only bathroom keeps becoming more unusable with no alternative available. That's how many cats experience it. And stressed cats often begin avoiding the litter box entirely. That's when owners suddenly start seeing accidents on beds, carpets, or clothing. Not because the cat is bad, but because stress has overwhelmed their comfort threshold. Before leaving for any significant amount of time, scoop every litter box completely, refresh litter if needed, and if you'll be gone overnight or longer, arrange for someone to clean it daily. This single habit can prevent enormous emotional stress for your cat while you're away. Tip number 3, stop leaving your cat in a dead, silent environment. Many owners unknowingly create sensory deprivation when they leave home. Curtains closed, no stimulation, nothing changing, nothing moving. But a cat's brain is designed for observation, movement detection, pattern tracking, and environmental monitoring. So when absolutely nothing happens for hours and hours, your cat doesn't experience peaceful relaxation. They experience mental understimulation. One of the easiest ways to improve your cat's emotional state while you're gone is this: leave the environment alive. Open a safe window view. Let natural sunlight in. Allow them to watch birds, people, squirrels, leaves moving, or cars passing outside. Window. Watching is not doing nothing for cats. It's active mental enrichment. Many cats spend hours peacefully engaged with outside movement because it keeps their sensory system occupied in a healthy way. And before leaving, create tiny environmental changes that trigger curiosity. A cardboard box in a new spot, a paper bag on the floor, a hidden treat trail, a blanket draped differently over furniture. These little changes matter more than most people think because they redirect your cat's focus toward exploration instead of obsessing over your absence. A curious cat is usually a calmer cat, and a cat actively exploring their territory is far less likely to spiral into stress behaviors. If this is changing the way you think about your cat's emotional world, hit the like button and subscribe because tip number 5 is the one almost nobody talks about. Tip number 4, most toys fail because they don't activate your cat's hunting brain. Here's the truth. Most static cat toys become invisible after about 30 seconds. Once a cat realizes an object isn't alive, moving, or responsive, interest drops immediately. That random toy mouse lying on the floor, to your cat, it quickly becomes furniture. What actually works is enrichment that mimics the natural hunting cycle. Cats are biologically programmed to search, stalk, chase, capture, eat. And when this sequence never happens, frustration builds. That's why puzzle feeders are so powerful. A puzzle feeder turns food into an achievement instead of a free resource. Now your cat has a challenge to solve, movement to follow, a reward to earn, and that process satisfies deep instinctive needs. Lick mats also work extremely well because licking naturally calms the nervous system in many animals. Treat dispensing balls work because they move unpredictably and trigger pursuit behavior. The key is variety. If your cat solves the exact same puzzle every single day, the stimulation fades. Rotate activities, change treat locations, introduce novelty in small doses. Cats don't need constant excitement, but they do need occasional mystery because genuine curiosity is one of the strongest signs a cat feels emotionally secure in their environment. And now, tip number 5, the mistake that silently creates anxiety in thousands of cats every day. Never leave one giant pile of food and assume it solves everything. This is one of the most common cat owner habits in the world. People think, I'll just leave extra food out while I'm gone. But for many cats, this creates multiple problems at once. First, stress eating. An anxious cat may overeat simply because food is available, leading to vomiting, digestive problems, rapid weight gain, or lethargy. Second, many stressed cats do the opposite. They refuse food that has been sitting out too long. So owners come home believing their cat barely touched the food without realizing anxiety disrupted their appetite entirely. But the deepest issue is psychological. Feeding schedules are emotional security signals for cats. Every scheduled meal tells your cat, the environment is stable. Life is normal. My human always comes back. When feeding time suddenly disappears, that emotional anchor disappears too. And for sensitive cats, that missing routine creates real stress. This is why automatic feeders are so valuable. Not because they're convenient for humans, because they preserve emotional predictability for the cat. Many owners who switch to scheduled automatic feeding notice dramatic changes surprisingly fast. Less nighttime crying, reduced food anxiety, calmer behavior overall, less frantic begging, more emotional stability. And the reason is simple. Your cat's most important daily routine finally became reliable. For overnight trips or longer absences, always arrange for a trusted person to visit at least twice daily, not only to refill food and water, but to spend real time interacting with your cat. Because despite their reputation, most cats do not emotionally thrive in complete isolation. They may act independent while you're home, but your presence matters far more than they can verbally show. Your cat notices your routines, your voice, your timing, your energy, your absence, and the small habits you maintain while leaving them alone can quietly shape their emotional health every single day. None of these 5 things are difficult, but together they create the difference between a cat that merely survives your absence and a cat that genuinely feels safe while you're gone. So now I want to ask you, which tip surprised you the most? And what do you personally do to help your cat feel comfortable when you're away? Leave a comment below, like this video if it helped you, and subscribe for more deep insights into the emotional lives of the animals we share our homes with.